these past 2 years have been very challenging for our nervous system. We have been bombarded, and in some aspects we still are, with some scary news, right? So I know that some of you have also gone through personal losses and challenges, and of course it all piles up. As we all know, we have a negativity bias neurologically, which pushes us to pay more attention to what goes wrong in our lives, to danger, to threat. It is the fear and the survival-based response which goes into long-term memory, because we tend to spend more time on worry and on anxiety, right? So that is what we seem to internalize more. And meanwhile, our positive experience don't go into our long-term memory, because we stay there for a very short time. In other words, we hold on to our positive experiences for a very short time. So like if somebody gives us a compliment, or we have a good experience, or we feel thankful for something, we don't stay in those positive experiences for a long time. And so we don't give them the opportunity to actually change our brain structure towards calmness and equilibrium. But we can change that, because we can actually alter the structure of our brain by adjusting the way we breathe and our behavioral and thought patterns. So breathing is a very important component on how to change that proclivity that our brain has to stay in the negative. And we are going to practice some breathing techniques. And if we want to store good patterns in our long-term memory, we need to hold the good experiences that we have, which are many during the day, for at least 10 seconds. And that affects our implicit memory. So suppose you, in the morning, you go out and you see the sun, it's a beautiful day. Just allow yourself to be there with that experience for 10 seconds. And you will feel like you will feel your whole system wanting to move out, right, of the experience of gratitude and awe of this beautiful day. But you keep your attention on that beautiful experience for 10 seconds. 10 seconds. I mean, it's not very much, but if you do that 6 times a day, so, then you go to the grocery store and you have a good interaction with the cashier. So stay there in that good interaction and feeling, oh, she's so nice to me, and she is packing my groceries so carefully. Just immerse in that experience for 10 seconds at least. Or somebody gives you a compliment about whatever, and you, instead of saying, oh, thank you, and just moving on to something else or walking away, you stay with the compliment and you say, oh, really, thank you so much, and feel that compliment in your body for 10 seconds. I know it is possible, not only because of the research that plenty of scientists have made, but because I personally have experienced that in my life. I was a person who tended to linger on the negative, and I did precisely this exercise, and I would do it at least 6 times a day, and I would count the 10 seconds or more, right? And after a week or so, I started noticing that my mind was not lingering now on the negative, that I could stay on the positive a little bit more. We have an extraordinary brain that, and an extraordinary system that God has given us to really change it the way we want to change. It's called plasticity. When we change, when we have the capacity to change the architecture of our brain, and that is called neuroplasticity. And then you have emotional plasticity. You have the potential, if you work at it, to change towards what your emotions are leaning. And this is the trick, staying with emotions you enjoy for 10 seconds, not just walking away from wonderful things in life, staying with the emotion. If you're drinking a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or eating something that is pleasurable to your senses, stay with it. Allow yourself, instead of being with the phone and scrolling down, or instead of eating fast and thinking about the next thing you're going to do, enjoy that bite of food. Enjoy it. And it does make a difference. 10 seconds makes a difference. So if you start with that practice today and you make it like a new pattern in your life, you will see how things start to change. And of course, it's little by little, one step at a time, right? So you start by things that are easier, like what I have been describing, and pretty soon you will notice that a lot of your emotions, a lot of your patterns are going to start changing. So that now that we are in the Northern Hemisphere, we are at the beginning of spring, go for a walk, enjoy the flowers, stay with a flower, look at it, and in that admiration, allow yourself to feel awe for this beauty that we are surrounded by, and stay with that feeling for 10 seconds, and do that at least 6 times a day, and you will notice an incredible difference. Because we can sculpt our minds, and that is how neurowork supports a more positive approach to life, towards a greater emotional and cognitive balance as well.